Portals is an urban fantasy drama filled with magic and romance. It focuses on the relationships of young people in a collegiate town. The college happens to be a magic university, and my primary characters are either students of the university or people who've graduated and trying to find niches in their given field of study. So the backdrop is going to be more like, here's the real world or an alternative world with a particular type of magic in it. The magic is a nanotech initiated form of, I almost say it was like an alchemy, and it's an alien tech, and it's something that not everybody can adapt well to. So that's the basic background of the story. But to give you a little bit of history, when I first wrote Spirit Gum, from which Portals was derived, that was in 1996. And I was a big fan of the Hernandez brothers' Love and Rockets. So my storyline was more about sort of like these bisexual witches and Wiccans in this town, in their relationships. And the focus was very relationship oriented. And Portals hasn't changed in that aspect. The fantasy and the magic is an element there, but that's not the focus. So it's, as I tell people, if you are looking for a Dungeons and Dragons type fantasy, this isn't going to be your story. This story is about human relationships. Magic just happens to be the backdrop. The real question is, why not? Every once in a while on the Amazon commentary, I would see people who would say, oh, there's sex in this story. Oh, it degrades the story. Oh, it takes it down a notch. And while I will never say a person has to like a given thing in a film, I'll also say that people who like something in a film should be able to have it. It's not about it being gratuitous or whether it's necessary or not necessary. It's about the fact that human sexuality as a part of life, like eating, like laughing, like going to work, driving, all these things are parts of life. And yet you never see anyone freak out about the inclusion of those things in film. It's only when it comes to sexuality. And I'm sure someone will inevitably say something like, well, pooping's a part of life, or it's a biological drive. Sure, that's in movies too. You don't hear people complaining about somebody's on the toilet reading a newspaper, or, having his go. And that's a biological drive, just like sex is. People hammer in on the sex or the nudity, which are natural aspects of being a human. We're all here because of sex. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see its inclusion as being bad. I don't think it degrades a film to have it in there. I thought about not putting it in the film because one thing I do know from being on the peripherals of the film industry, it's easier to sell your stuff if you keep your stuff within the PG-13, TV, 14 range of things. But I don't know. It's just not me. It's just not my thing. So that anyone who watches this knows it's going to be in there. And so I don't have to see 200 comments whipping me based on the idea of, was that necessary? For me, it was necessary. And even if it wasn't necessary, so what? Even if it's gratuitous, so what? Putting accent pillows on a sofa isn't necessary. Throw rugs aren't necessary. Pretty earrings, a gold watch, wearing nice things isn't necessary. It's not, eating chocolate isn't necessary. But we do it. We do it because sometimes accents to life color life. Sex is an accent to life. It's essential to life. It's a biological drive. I personally don't see anything wrong with it. So there you go. But that said, I do want to caveat this to say that I am not going to be putting that in a ton of the videos, because I'm thinking of it as more of an accent to go with certain scenes. It's not going to be you're going to see sex in every video. or like even in a season you might not see it that often. It's just something I want to forewarn people who have an issue or problem with that kind of thing in film, so they know. You've been forewarned, so please. If this isn't your cup of tea, you don't like that kind of thing, don't watch it.
Through the clouds and descent touchdown. Now on the ground, speeding to a meeting to tell you all the truth. She's aloof in the proceedings. Couldn't shake the feeling that she didn't belong. Now the music getting louder, heart singing that song. Longing for this place she barely knew. Life offers so many paths for you to choose. Sometimes though, we're not meant to know, but she listened to her inner voices telling her.
The characters of Portals are an eclectic mix, and you'll be introduced to them throughout this season. I plan on doing a more in-depth video that I'm going to put on my website, and the link will be at the end of this. And it will really get into who each person is and their story. But for now, I hope you enjoy this montage of animation and stills that give you a bit of flavor of what the Portals is all about.
Morgan, can you explain to us why you want to join the Merry Wizard dance troupe?
Because when I dance, I feel like I'm flying.
No funny stuff, I promise. Unless you want to. That's not even a... I want to show you that I'm worth the risk.
you so much for giving Portals a shot. I hope you enjoy the episodes and the seasons, and also know that the money that you're going to be giving to this project is going to help me buy equipment and hopefully make things even bigger and better in the future. So I plan to grow at some point, maybe hire out more people to produce with, because right now I'm completely indie. I don't have a crew. It's just me. And I want to change that. And one way I'll be able to change that is when I make a little bit more money so I can hire out contractors and different things. And you guys can make that possible. And you are making that possible. And that's why I appreciate you. And I thank you. And I hope that you enjoy this season and seasons to come. Thank you.